Today we're going to be mixing together Punky color in the color Flame and Fire. So to start, I just want to say that these are human hair swatches, but the only one that's virgin hair is the number 4, which is the black swatch. Also, the numbers do not correlate with hair levels. I do different pictures and clips and stuff closer to the end of the video, so the numbers just help us keep track of each swatch. So one is green, red and green are across from each other on the color wheel, and the fire color leans very red. So I want to see how well it covers the green. 2 is gray, 3 is a natural red, 4 again is black. So 4 to 11 is a range that goes to platinum blonde, and then 12 is like a toned version of number 11. Quickly, I do want to show what these look like swatched on their own without being mixed. You can see that fire does look very red. To me, the swatches also were very red, but they were also very, very orange. So like a red that's so orange that some people might think it's orange, and an orange so red that some people might think it's red. Whereas the flame is pretty orange, but it had a lot more of yellow undertones. So if we mix it together, we'll probably get a really nice in-between color of orange. So for my mix videos, I like to do at least 2 different ratios for our mixture. And I usually like to do the darker mix on top and the lighter mix on the bottom if possible. I know that usually people, when they mix dyes together, they like to see an equal part mix, and with these 2 colors we were able to do that. So the top mix here is going to be a 1-to-1 ratio, which is going to be the same amount of flame and fire. I do just want to say that everyone's hair is different, which means everyone's hair could take color differently. Also, different screens and monitors can make colors look kind of off, especially undertone. So please just use my video as a reference for how this could possibly turn out for you.
I hate when we talk through our phones. We have our hopes and our dreams, every little thing between. Maybe this can't be. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom. A part to start, build on. Maybe must have started this too soon. Laying in my bed and I'm listening to Michael. Wishing you were here, we could lay for a while. Broke down to the note you gave me, saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? We were just fine through the summer, undercovers tucked away. When fall came, now I'm here and you're there. Distance takes a toll on me. We have our hopes and our dreams, every little thing between. Maybe this can't be.
For the second ratio, I wanted to focus more on getting a nice in-between color where we are lightening up fire a lot and darkening flame a little bit. So we're doing a 1-to-8 ratio with this. That's going to be 1 part of the fire to 8 parts of flame. I won't lie, I am a little worried that the fire is too pigmented and that I should have did less flame, but I think the comparisons of them before and after later in the video will probably help, because I don't think it will be as red with the flame mixed in at least.
Me saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? We don't ever have to be alone inside our thoughts. Would you like that? I think I like that. 22, we never knew we lived inside a box. And we're panicked, kinda romantic. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom.
So to give my swatches some time to really absorb the color, I'm gonna let these sit for 3 hours. I will then rinse them out, and when they're dry, I will meet you back here and we'll look at those comparisons. So I think I was right earlier in the video when I said that I was worried that I put too much fire in with the flame, because the flame doesn't seem to be as pigmented, because it really doesn't seem like the top half has changed much. So if you're looking to lighten up the fire, I would say definitely add more flame than I did. Equal parts is probably not enough. But anyways, so this did a really good job. The only one that's not colored is the number 4 black swatch. Number 1 was the green. Like I said earlier, red and green are technically across from each other on the color wheel, so they do an okay job at like neutralizing each other a bit. And I feel like that's definitely what happened here. Both the top and the bottom definitely look a lot more natural. Not that they look like natural reds, but kind of like a natural version for this mix, if that makes sense. I do feel like I can see a little bit more orange peeking through on the bottom than I see red on the top, but overall it's still very warm and worked out really well. Number 2 is gray. I do feel like the top half looks a little bit more cool toned for a red compared to the rest of the swatches. The bottom half doesn't necessarily look more cool toned. I don't know if an orange can be cool toned, but it does appear kind of similarly, a little bit more natural, a little bit more muted. Number 3 was the natural red, and I feel like that didn't really matter. To me, it kind of looks like it should be between 6 and 7 here. And when I say it doesn't matter is that the reddish undertones didn't seem to make much of a difference after dyeing it. So 5 and 6 to me look like browns with reddish or oranges undertones. Like they still look kind of brownish, if that makes sense. It's not till you get to like number 3 and number 7 and lighter where the hair looks like a red or an orange, just a darker, more muted version of it compared to the blonder ones. So I think it looks really beautiful on 7 and 8, but 9, 10, 11, and 12 all are a little bit more saturated and, like I said, less muted than the slightly brown swatches were. And makes sense, but the number 11, which was like a platinum blonde beforehand, looks the lightest. Even though it's not a lot lighter, it does look a little bit lighter than 9, 10, and even 12. So the flame looks pretty different from these swatches, so I'm not going to spend time comparing all of the swatches to flame. Instead, I'm going to lay down the flame here while I compare this to the fire from Punky Color. So this is flame from Punky Color, and it's comparable to number 11. I'll just lay it here at the bottom. I used to do 2 separate diluted parts, so this is diluted and this is diluted. So this is fire from Punky Color, and this is comparable to number 12, number 11, number 10, and number 9. So I am noticing a difference, and that could be a number of different things. That could just be the people's hair. Maybe they didn't take the color as well. That could be even me, something that I'm doing differently because, you know, I did do these earlier on in my channel. My channel just hit 3 years old, so it could have been like 2 years ago that I did this color. Or it really could just be the difference in how it is mixed versus by itself, but I don't think so. I genuinely think that this is what fire looks like on its own. It's just a different version, if that makes sense. Like for some people, maybe it would turn out slightly more like this one, and for other people, more like this, but I don't think the flame mixed in is really doing anything on the top halves, unfortunately. And I do also want to say that I was comparing this to Arctic Fox's Poison, and they look very similar. And Poison is a red with orange undertones, so I'm not sure if I should be considering Fire a red with orange undertones because the container itself looks very orange, but the dye looks very red. So I guess that's up to whoever, because we all kind of see colors a little bit differently. But right now it does look quite red to me. I'm not gonna bother comparing the Arctic Fox because it is a red and I'm trying to do the more orange direction. So I did find an orange that matches the bottom pretty well, and that is Good Dye Young in the color Riot. So this is comparable to number 12, number 11, number 10, and number 9. Now I just wanted to show you the difference. I wanted to put it at the top, even though we will be comparing it to the bottom, just so you can see. To me, the undertones are very similar. So hypothetically, if you did like the bottom here and you didn't want to mix 2 dyes together, you just wanted to buy 1 dye, I think the Riot would be a really, really good option, especially because you can lighten it to get an even more kind of yellowy orange. But that is my suggestion for that. Now, if you are looking for an even more yellowy orange, I did make a little list. So Let me get it. Okay, so if you're looking for something just a tad bit more yellow, Arctic Fox Sunset Orange would be next in line. Then from there, Overtone Ginger, and then from there, Color Lux Copper. But the ginger and the copper are meant to be slightly more natural looking, so they're not as bright as the Arctic Fox. They're a little bit more muted. And then my most yellowy orange that I have right now is Manic Panic in the color Psychedelic Sunset, and that one is also very bright. So if you're looking for bright, it would be Sunset Orange first, and then even more yellow is the Psychedelic Sunset. And if you're looking for more muted, the Overtone Ginger would be next, and then even more yellow from that is Color Lux Copper. Hopefully that wasn't confusing. They don't really match, so I didn't want to spend time putting them out for you, but hopefully that still helps. All right, so now I'd like to get into the before and after clips. Anything past this point will now be done in natural lighting.
I wanna know what you listen to when you lay in bed alone. You got this sophistication. I hate when we talk through our phones. We have our hopes and our dreams, every little thing between. Maybe this can't be. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom. A part to start, build on. Maybe must have started this too soon. Laying in my bed and I'm listening to Michael. Wishing you were here, we could lay for a while. Broke down to the note you gave me, saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? We were just fine through the summer, under covers tucked away. Fall came, now I'm here and you're there. Distance takes a toll on me. We have our hopes and our dreams, every little thing between. Maybe this can't be. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom. A part to start, build on. Maybe must have started this too soon. Laying in my bed and I'm listening to Michael. Wishing you were here, we could lay for a while. Broke down to the note you gave me, saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? We don't ever have to be alone inside our thoughts. Would you like that? I think I like that. 22, we never knew we lived inside a box. And we're panicked, kinda romantic. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom. A part to start, build on. Maybe must have started this too soon. Laying in my bed and I'm listening to Michael. Wishing you were here, we could lay for a while. Broke down to the note you gave me, saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? What did you think I'd do?
I hope this video helped. If you have a request, I do have a Google form linked down in the description below, but just remember I only do brands that do not test on animals. Thank you so much to my patrons, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.